The Micah Parsons disaster was supposed to be a wake-up call for this front office. But looking at the current silence surrounding George Pickens, it seems like the leadership at the Star is still hitting the snooze button while the rest of the league passes us by. I've spent my life studying the nuances of the Dallas Cowboys, and what I see right now isn't just a contract negotiation, it's a dangerous lack of peripheral vision. We are watching a young elite talent who just posted a 400-yard season enter a contract year with zero communication from the front office, and if you think that's just standard business, then you don't understand the high-stakes chess match that is the modern NFL. I'm Carlos Eduardo, and today we're having a real talk about the state of this franchise. I'm not here to read you headlines or give you the corporate spin you'll hear on the afternoon talk shows. I'm here to tell you why the current strategy or lack thereof is a direct threat to the star on the helmet and our pursuit of a 6th Super Bowl ring. When you represent America's team, you don't have the luxury of being passive. Every move, every hesitation is magnified under the bright lights of Jerry World. If we aren't careful, the very identity that makes us great will become the weight that drags us down into mediocrity. Let's get into the film, because that's where the truth lives. When I look at George Pickens' 2025 tape, I don't just see a receiver. I see the ultimate X factor that makes the entire offensive machine hum. He caught 93 passes for 1,429 yards and 9 touchdowns. But it's not just the stats, it's the way he gets them. Pickens has that rare, ancestral Cowboys DNA, that big play capability we haven't truly seen since the 90s dynasty. He's the guy who wins the money downs, the one who high points the ball in the end zone when the pressure is suffocating. From my perspective, his first year in Dallas wasn't just a success. It was a blueprint for how this offense should operate alongside CeeDee Lamb. But here's the problem. The Cowboys are repeating the exact same tactical error they made with Micah Parsons. If I'm being honest with Cowboys fans, the way this team allowed Micah to walk, because they were too timid to reset the market early, was the single biggest failure of the Jerry Jones era in the last decade. We lost the best defensive player in the world because we wanted to be price conscious. And now we're doing it again. George Pickens played last year on a rookie deal making roughly $3.6 million, but his actual production valuation was north of $31 million. That is the kind of surplus value that wins championships, but that surplus value is about to expire. What I see on the film is a player who knows his worth. Pickens is 24 years old. He is entering his prime. In an NFL where the salary cap is exploding and elite wide receivers are commanding $30 million plus a year, waiting until the offseason is not saving money. It is voluntarily paying a procrastination tax. By the time we actually sit down to talk to his new representation, the market will have moved another 10% higher. It's a failure of gap discipline in the boardroom. If you wait for the market to come to you, you've already lost the leverage. I've seen this pattern for 20 years, and it always ends with us paying more for less time. I've been around this franchise long enough to remember how things were done when we were winning trophies. In the 90s, when you had a blue-chip talent, you locked them up. You didn't wait for the media to start asking questions. You didn't wait for the player to get frustrated. You secured the talent so you could focus on the clutch factor when the playoffs arrived. Today, it feels like we're more concerned with the business of the star than the success of the team on the field. The legendary triple threat of Aikman, Irvin, and Smith didn't just happen. It was maintained through strategic aggression. We are currently trading that aggression for a spreadsheet-first mentality that doesn't win games in January. And let's talk about the NFC East context. Our rivals are not sitting on their hands. The Eagles, the Giants, the Commanders, they are all watching this Pickens situation with predatory interest. If we let Pickens hit the open market, or even if we just let the relationship sour, we are opening the door for one of our rivals to snag a weapon that can destroy us for the next 5 years. Can you imagine Pickens catching passes in Philly? It makes my stomach turn. This is America's team, and we should be the ones dictating the terms of the division, not reacting to it. We need to maintain our dominance, and that starts with keeping our own stars from feeding the enemy. The reports from Calvin Watkins are particularly concerning because they mention Javonte Williams is also in limbo. Javonte was a godsend last year. He brought a physical, downhill running style that balanced this offense and allowed Dak Prescott to thrive in play action. But again, preliminary talks are on hold because of agent changes? That is a weak excuse. When you are the Dallas Cowboys, you have the resources to be proactive. You don't let your starting running back and your star wide receiver go into February without a clear path forward. You need that hammer in the backfield to keep defenses honest, especially when you're facing the aggressive fronts of the NFC East. If I'm analyzing the salary cap strategy, the cap hell narrative is a total myth. I've looked at the numbers. Between restructures for Dak and CeeDee, we can create all the space we need. The issue isn't the money, it's the philosophy. We are acting like a small market team, trying to pinch pennies instead of the most valuable sports franchise on the planet. We are playing under the bright lights, with a front office that seems to be afraid of the dark. We have the leverage of the star, yet we act like we're begging players to stay. It's time to stop the cap space fear-mongering and start focusing on roster retention. From my perspective, the next few weeks will tell us everything we need to know about the 2026 season. If we don't see a massive announcement regarding an extension for Pickens, we are essentially conceding that we aren't all in. We are telling the fans that we are okay with a good team rather than a great one. We are telling CeeDee Lamb that he has to carry the entire load alone, which we know from the film is a recipe for a first-round exit. We need that physical presence on the outside that Pickens provides. Without him, the offensive line has to hold blocks longer, Dak has to be more perfect, and the margin for error disappears entirely. I want to see the triple threat reborn. I want to see this offense have so many weapons that opposing coordinators have nightmares on Saturday nights. But that requires leadership. It requires the front office to step up and realize that George Pickens is not just another player. He is a pillar of our future. We already lost Micah. We cannot afford to lose the soul of our receiving corps too. Think about the impact on the locker room. When players see a guy like Pickens put up historic numbers and get met with silence, it breeds resentment. It erodes the culture of excellence we are trying to rebuild. The pursuit of the next Super Bowl ring is not a part-time job. It requires a 24/7 commitment to excellence, both on the field and in the front office. We need to act now. We need to secure Pickens, finalize the Javonte deal, and send a message to the rest of the NFL that the Dallas Cowboys are still the kings of the mountain. If we continue to wait, we are just waiting to lose. And quite frankly, I've seen enough losing to last a lifetime. I remember the feeling of the 90s, the inevitability of our success. We've replaced that inevitability with anxiety, and it starts with these stalled negotiations. I'm calling on the front office to show some of that legendary Cowboys swagger. Stop worrying about the valuation and start worrying about the victory. Get George Pickens to the table, give him the extension he's earned, and let's get back to the business of winning championships. The legacy of the 90s is waiting for a successor, and that successor is built on the backs of players like Pickens. We need to dominate the line of scrimmage and the perimeter. We need to show the world why we are America's team. This isn't just about football, it's about the standard of the star. Let's stop the games. Let's sign the star, because if we don't, the only thing we'll be left with is another year of what-ifs, and a lot of empty space in the trophy case where a sixth Lombardi belongs. This is the reality of the situation, and I won't sugarcoat it for anyone. We are at a crossroads, and it's time to choose the path of champions. Every snap Pickens played last year was a testament to his talent. Every day Jerry waits is a testament to a lack of vision. We have the stadium, we have the history, we have the fans, now we need the guts to keep the players that make it all work. When I look at the history of this league, the teams that win are the ones that identify their core and protect it. The Chiefs don't let their stars walk. The 49ers find ways to keep their playmakers. Why are the Cowboys the only ones who seem to treat their own stars like liabilities during negotiations? It's a culture of fear instead of a culture of confidence. I'm tired of hearing about future cap flexibility when we're in the middle of a championship window that is slowly closing. You don't win trophies in the future. You win them now, and you win them with guys like number 14 making plays down the sideline. George Pickens has shown he can handle the pressure of playing in Jerry World. He has shown he can be the alpha when the game is on the line. Now it's time for the front office to show they can be the alphas in the boardroom. No more excuses about agents, no more talk about preliminary stages. We need ink on paper. We need to know that the star still means something more than just a marketing logo. It has to mean excellence. It has to mean we keep our best. We have to stop being the team that almost signs its stars and start being the team that commands the league's respect. If we let this drag into the summer, we've already lost. The distraction alone will derail training camp. The questions will haunt every press conference. Why isn't Pickens signed? Is he unhappy? Will he hold out? We've seen this drama before with Zeke, with Dak, with CeeDee. It's exhausting, it's unnecessary, and it's beneath the dignity of this franchise. Let's act like the elite organization we claim to be. Let's get this done and move on to the real work of bringing a trophy back to Dallas. We owe it to the fans, we owe it to the legends who came before us, and we owe it to the players who bleed for that star. This is my analysis. This is my perspective as a man who knows what this star represents. We are at the precipice of greatness or a long, slow slide back into relevance. The choice belongs to Jerry. But if he asks me, I say you pay the man today. You pay him yesterday. You make sure George Pickens stays a Cowboy for life. Because players like him don't come around often. And when they do, you don't let them go. Let's get to work. Let's secure the future. Let's go get that ring and remind everyone why Dallas is the center of the football universe.